I'm Mike Simpson. I'm the Liberal Democrat parliamentary candidate for South West Surrey, which includes Farnham. And we're in Farnham today asking people whether they're happy with what Farnham has to offer people, young people and older people, the facilities that it has to offer. We're here actually on the East Street development site. I say development site, but there's no development going on at the moment. It's been trundling on for about 10 years with a lot of controversy. There have been plans put forward and thousands of people have signed petitions against the redevelopment of this site. Many people anxious that there should be a theatre on this site again, as there has been in the past. So what we're here to do today is to ask the people of Farnham what their views are on the redevelopment of this site and also on the facilities that Farnham has to offer. You've been telling me that there's not a lot for young people in Farnham.
Yep.
What's been your experience over the last few years and what do you think of Farnham as a town?
It's been going downhill basically in the last few years. There's obviously the East Street, there's shops shutting every week. There's nothing in Farnham for young people. Most young people go to Guildford or other places like that. There's nothing really, there's like pubs and stuff, but if you're not 18 you can't do anything else in Farnham. Like, there's no cinemas, there's basically nothing for young people whatsoever.
So what would be your top priorities if you were redesigning the town or looking at redeveloping the town?
I'd definitely put something in there for like young children, like the cinemas, all sorts of, like there's a youth club around the corner, but that hardly gets used. That's run down as well. So anything really, like cinemas, like more bars and restaurants, obviously, because I like that sort of thing. But yeah, just anything really for young people, because it's more focused on the middle-aged and old people, I feel, Farnham.
So Steve, what do you think of Farnham and what do you think it's got to offer, particularly for younger people?
Very little actually. They seem to be taking quite a lot away from the younger generation of the people. I mean, you see a lot of graffiti around and yeah, you can't really feel safe when you go out at night really around Farnham. I mean, they could do with, I don't know, maybe updating the sports complexes maybe, offering more places for younger people to go. I mean, apart from pubs and wine bars, restaurants and a few shops, there's not really many other places to go.
What do you feel about the East Street redevelopment? Have you seen the plans for that?
Yeah, I've seen some plans, heard a lot of people talking in that, and personally it just seems to be a lot of talk. I mean, they've closed a lot of places down, left them quite derelict, and that seems to be it really.
It's been
Well, it's a great shame the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years that we've had to have our theatre in a marquee, quite nice as it is, adjacent to the old theatre. And while the old theatre is in there and deteriorating, we're not allowed to use it. So I think it's a terrible shame, and I hope that there's some way of having another building provided. I thought it was going to be perhaps the cinema complex which they're proposing. The malting's not really suitable. Good venue it is for other things. I don't think the malting is the right kind of venue for the Farnham Rep.
right. Yeah. So Ben, tell me about what you've done with Farnham Rep since the Redgrave Theatre closed down.
Well, the Redgrave Theatre closed down, I think, was at the end of the 90s, I think. I wasn't actually part of the company then, so, and I'm not from Farnham. But when it closed, the man who, in a sense, got the theatre built in the first place, a man called Ian Mullins, who ran the Castle Theatre and started the company in the first place. He was heading for retirement at that time, but I think he was quite cross that the theatre, which meant so much to him, had been closed down. So he decided to launch a company in 2000, I think it must have been, 2001, and they performed on this plot of land outside the boarded up Redgrave Theatre, and they performed a season basically to partly to show the town that the company was still here, the actors were all still here and ready to work. And I think the point he was making was that he wanted to prove that the town would come to his plays, and therefore they still wanted to go and see professional theatre in the town.
So Ben, your perspective then is that what you've done here on the old site, as it were, outside where the Redgrave Theatre was, and since it closed down, has proven that there's a demand for theatre in Farnham.
All I could say is that we've been here every summer since then. So that's 2001, and now we're 2009. And the season has been extremely popular every summer. It's been sold out. And yeah, the campaign to open that building over there is going on. That's happening with the Farnham Theatre Association. But yes, definitely, we would still be here otherwise. And we don't receive a great deal of funding. So what is mainly keeping us alive are ticket sales. So if you want to say that proves it, there you go.
People often say that theatre in a place of the size of Farnham is not viable, but you're saying that actually what you've achieved here is financially sustainable then.
Yeah, oh yes, and I don't know how wide your shot is, but this is the set that we have built.
Why can't something like this be run at the Maltings, people will ask?
Well, I've personally not been in the Maltings, I've not performed there, but I am told that the theatre space in there is not suitable for all the kinds of plays
And the
sorts of
acoustics
theatre,
are very poor, I guess.
I hear the acoustics aren't particularly good, yeah.
Julia, you've lived in Farnham, what, 7 years?
Yeah, 7 years.
And how do you find it?
I find that Farnham is a good location to live here. You can save, and by myself I have nothing to complain about Farnham. I like to live here, and I have a good school for the children as well. And I'm happy because I have a little boy, 4 years old, and he's going to, he's good for him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. There are plans to put a new cinema pretty close to this site, the East Street
would
site.
be good. Farnham needs cinema.
Yeah.
Yes, actually. The other day I talked to my friend about that. Farnham need to have something else to enjoy more the life. Then we just go to the pub, enjoy, have a few drinks, come back home, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much for your comments.
Okay.
What's your feeling about the East Street redevelopment?
Where is it? I've lived here for 20 years and it's being redeveloped. They knocked down the cinema just before we moved here, and nothing else apart from the random sort of stuff you see around you now has ever replaced it. And I've lost interest really, because it's like an ongoing saga that never finishes.
And it must be about 10 years, is it, since the theatre closed?
Ooh, probably that, yes. Yeah, I'd say so.
What's your feeling on that?
Well, so long as there's arts things going on in Farnham, I don't mind, to be honest, where they go on. And I did always think there was an issue about how viable it was to keep the theatre open in Redgrave when Guildford's got a theatre and Basingstoke's got a theatre and so on. But I like theatre, I want to go to the theatre, and I'll go to it wherever it is.
And I think you're going to buy some tickets for the rep,
Yeah,
aren't
that's
you?
what we're here for, yeah.
Which is in the marquee outside the old Redgrave Theatre.
And good fun. Good fun it is too.
Thank you very
I
much.
suspect it's more viable there than it would be in a built theatre. That's my feeling anyway.
What I've heard from people in Farnham today is that they're crying out for better leisure facilities for this town. There's a lot of frustration that the East Street redevelopment site has been derelict for way over 10 years. The councils say that they're going to progress this, but in the middle of a deep recession there are grave doubts about that. The people of Farnham deserve better.